Imagine a place of untouched beauty, a land where nature reigns supreme, untouched by the hands of modern civilization. The air is crisp, the waters clear, and the landscape stretches out in an endless tapestry of green and blue. The year is 1587, a time of exploration and discovery where the world as we know it was still being mapped and understood. Roanoke Island lies shrouded in mist, a pristine jewel off the coast of what is now North Carolina. Its shores are kissed by the Atlantic and its forests whisper secrets of ancient times. This is a land of towering trees and fertile ground. The soil is rich, promising bountiful harvests for those who dare to cultivate it. The trees stand tall, guardians of this untouched paradise. The air hums with the sound of unseen creatures. Birds sing their morning songs, while the rustle of leaves hints at the presence of deer and other wildlife. It's a symphony of nature, a reminder of the world's raw beauty. For English explorers, it represents the promise of a new life, a chance to start afresh, to build something from the ground up. The New World is a beacon of hope, a land of endless possibilities. Word of this new world had reached England. Stories of vast lands, untold riches and opportunities beyond imagination. It was a siren call, drawing the brave and the bold across the treacherous Atlantic. Tales of adventure and riches spread like wildfire. From the bustling streets of London to the quiet villages of the English countryside, everyone spoke of the New World. It was a land where dreams could come true, where fortunes could be made. Queen Elizabeth I herself supported the venture. She saw the potential of the New World, not just for its riches, but as a strategic foothold in the Americas. Her vision was grand, her ambitions even grander. She dreamed of establishing a permanent English settlement in this new land, a place where English culture, traditions and values could take root and flourish. It was a bold vision, one that required courage and determination. The task fell upon a group of brave men and women ready to face the unknown. They were pioneers in every sense of the word, venturing into uncharted territory with hope in their hearts and dreams in their minds. They knew the risks, but they also knew the rewards, and so, with the blessings of their queen and the hopes of a nation, they set sail for Roanoke Island, ready to carve out a new life in a new world. A seasoned explorer named John White was chosen to lead this perilous expedition. John White was not just any explorer, he was a man of great experience and resilience. His previous voyages had prepared him for the challenges that lay ahead. He had already visited Roanoke on a previous voyage. During that time, he had meticulously studied the land, the resources, and the potential it held for future settlers. He had seen its potential, the fertile soil, the abundant wildlife, and the strategic location made it an ideal place for a new colony. Now, he was entrusted with establishing a lasting colony. This was no small task. It required careful planning, strong leadership, and unwavering determination. Over 100 men, women, and children embarked on the long and arduous journey across the Atlantic. These brave souls left behind their homes, their families, and everything they knew, driven by the promise of a new beginning. The voyage was fraught with danger. The Atlantic Ocean was vast and unpredictable, and the wooden ships were at the mercy of the elements. Storms threatened to smash their wooden ships. The howling winds and towering waves tested the limits of their endurance and their resolve. Disease spread quickly in the cramped quarters. The lack of fresh air, clean water, and proper sanitation created a breeding ground for illness. Many passengers did not survive the journey. The loss of life was a heavy burden on the survivors, but they pressed on, driven by the hope of a better future. But the dream of a new life kept the colonists going. They endured the hardships, the fear, and the uncertainty, holding on to the vision of a thriving community in the new world. They clung to hope as they finally landed on Roanoke's sandy shores. The sight of land brought a surge of relief and renewed determination. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they had taken the first crucial step towards building a new life. The early days were a flurry of activity. The colonists set about building their homes. They constructed shelters from the island's abundant timber. They planted crops in the fertile soil. Life was hard, but they persevered. The native Algonquin people had lived on the land for centuries. Relations between the colonists and the natives were complex. There were moments of friendship and cooperation. They traded goods and knowledge. However, misunderstandings and mistrust also arose. This would have lasting consequences. The colony faced a critical shortage of supplies. John White knew he had to return to England. The settlers were struggling, and their survival depended on his swift return with essential provisions. The weight of responsibility bore heavily on his shoulders as he prepared for the arduous journey back across the Atlantic. He promised to come back as soon as possible with more food and tools. His heart ached as he thought of the loved ones he was leaving behind. But he knew that without these supplies, the colony's future was bleak. The ship was loaded with everything they would need to sustain themselves until the next supply run. He left behind his daughter Eleanor and his granddaughter Virginia Dare. Eleanor was strong and resilient, but the thought of her and little Virginia facing hardships without him was almost unbearable. He hoped his absence would be brief and that he would return to find them safe and well. Virginia was the first English child born in the New World. Her birth had been a symbol of hope and new beginnings for the settlers. She represented the future of the colony, a future that now seemed uncertain with White's departure. White's return to Roanoke was delayed by 3 long years. Each passing day weighed heavily on his mind. The delay was agonizing, knowing that the colony was in desperate need of the supplies he was bringing. The war with Spain prevented ships from crossing the Atlantic. The seas were treacherous and naval blockades made travel nearly impossible. White's frustration grew as he was forced to wait, powerless to help his struggling colony. When he finally sailed back, a cold dread gripped his heart. What would he find? The journey was fraught with anxiety and fear. He had heard no word from the colony in all that time, and his mind raced with possibilities, each more dire than the last. As he landed on the shore, an eerie silence greeted him. The once familiar sounds of daily life were absent. The air was thick with an unsettling stillness that made his heart pound in his chest. The once bustling settlement was deserted, homes stood empty, and the fields were overgrown. There was no sign of struggle, no indication of where the settlers had gone. The silence was deafening, and the mystery of their disappearance would haunt him for the rest of his days. Section 5, the Lost Colony. The houses were still standing, but they were empty. There were no signs of struggle or violence. The colonists had vanished. The only clue was a single word carved into a post: CROATOAN. This was the name of a nearby island and a friendly Native American tribe. What had become of the colonists? Had they moved to CROATOAN Island? Had they been captured? Or had something even more sinister befallen them? The mystery of Roanoke has haunted historians and archaeologists for centuries. Section 6, Whispers in the Wind. Over the years, many theories have been proposed to explain the disappearance of the Roanoke colonists. Some believe that the colonists integrated with the CROATOAN tribe. They may have been absorbed into the native population. Others suggest that a natural disaster, such as a hurricane, wiped out the settlement. Some theories are more sinister. Disease, starvation, and conflict with other Native American tribes are all possibilities. Could the colonists have met a tragic end? The lack of evidence only deepens the mystery. Section 7, Searching for Answers. Even today, the mystery of Roanoke continues to fascinate. Archaeologists and historians are using modern technology to uncover the truth. They are carefully excavating the site, searching for any trace of the lost colonists. Ground-penetrating radar and other tools help them map the area and look for buried structures. Analysis of tree rings and soil samples can provide clues about the environmental conditions at the time. Will they find the answers they seek? Section 8, A Mystery Endures. Despite centuries of research, the fate of the Roanoke colonists remains unknown. The mystery serves as a reminder of the challenges and dangers faced by early explorers. It also highlights the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The lost colony of Roanoke stands as a testament to the enduring power of mystery. It is a story that continues to capture the imagination, urging us to seek answers and unravel the secrets of the past. Section 9. What do you think? What do you think happened to the Roanoke colonists? Where did they go? Do you think we will ever solve this historical puzzle? Section 10, The Spirit of Discovery. The mystery of Roanoke is a reminder that there are still mysteries to be solved. It is a call to embrace the spirit of exploration and discovery. It encourages us to keep searching for answers even when they seem lost to time.